The next thing we're going to set up to do is flameinmind.com, and that's the brainwave technology. Should we take F5 while we make those connections, perhaps? Thank you. Flameinmind.com. First, a little bit about what's in the app, and then we're actually going to display the brainwave measurement during a short meditation. Okay, that's it. Yes.
So you see there are different parts on the screen. This is a spectrum of the two hemispheres. This is an history of what's happening because we are searching for golden ratio. So we have here in real time the phi ratio and octave ratio that appear in the spectrum, and also takes into account the symmetry. The brainwave can be recorded also with HRV. And so if you take this small device, it will take your heart rate parameters, okay? And you put the headset, it's very, very light, it's like glasses. You put it like this on your, you will see, then you wear one.
It's so powerful, you can measure your heart coherence, your HRV.
So you have both brainwaves and HRV. And as this app can also generate binaural sound, binaural beat sound, and I explained in the previous conference that we are using inside the parameters rhythm from inside the body, very low rhythm. And so these beats you can hear with your the sound that you can get with your ears. You will not feel this beat, but your brain will get it. And it's possible to play this sound while using the app, and you will see and record everything, and you will see that after a while, if you're really coherent, if you're really centered, what will happen is that your HRV will be in phase with the beat. So in pink here, this is the beat which is moving, and in red it's HRV, which is increasing on the same cycle as the beat which is generated by the sound. Okay.
You have a bigger screen?
Yeah. Yes.
Can I just talk for a second? Just to say 1 second. The original mind mirror displayed right, left, brainwave alpha, beta, theta, delta, like this in a cascade. So dynamically, the concept of this kind of cascade, which includes a waterfall, which is a bit of time history, to see right versus left brain, the amplitude of the alpha, whether your right and left brain are the same frequency and the same amplitude. You can see right, left hemispheric dominance, alpha, beta, theta cascades. So the display itself is state-of-the-art powerful for meditation. The very concept is not understood by many, but it was pioneered by Cade in the book Mind Mirror and the Mind Mirror Technology. The book is called Awakened Brain. So that concept has now been extended. We've added so many features, especially golden ratio measurement. Sorry, Patrick, please continue. Yeah.
So what we are looking is phi ratio or golden ratio between the peak, and also looking for symmetry between the two hemispheres. And one of the most interesting, of course, it's in green here. It's alpha, here you have theta, and then we are looking for the ratio and plot in the evolution screen what's happening inside. And you can make a recording and play it back, because if you want to measure the quality of your meditation, you don't have to open your eyes and look in the app. So you have to be centered. So you start the app and then you play it back and you see exactly what.
And notice how powerful to display how much of the energy of your brainwaves is in phi golden ratio versus how much of the energy is in octave ratio. Yeah. Remember, when we measured, we found the telepath in Italy was pure octave ratio, just solid octave cascade, right there, the telepath. It wasn't bliss, it was a telepath. It was very interesting. Whereas this phi cascade, when you feel a rush and bliss and, the implosion, so it's a very distinct brainwave electrical geometry that no one else has discovered, and yet it's incredibly powerful. Please.
And you see here, phi ratio are in blue and octave ratio are in pink, and it will display all the time through the recording. Each time it is finding a ratio.
It's like whether your aura is pen or hex.
Okay, well, I already explained. Well, one thing we have made to update the app is before first, in the first publication of the app, Dan asked me to measure the back part of the brain, because it is in this back part that we measure the more phi ratio. So this is what we were looking for. So we only took the information coming from the back of the brain. And then we got information about what they call the flow, the brain flow. And the brain flow, in fact, it's a special state. You have to do something which is not very easy, to be very concentrated on what you are doing. You must be a little bit in movement, and well, forget about everything else, but only what you are doing. And they have made a lot of tests and with very sophisticated devices to see what was happening in the brain. And they measure mainly people who are walking on a wire very high, and they don't fall because they are completely centered. And they wanted, now they have the possibility, you see they put some device on his back. They have the possibility of making a recording of what's happening. They also made recording of people with making apnea and see what was happening. It's the same thing.
It's very easy to understand. It's well known in the sports literature. It's called being in the flow. And what that means is instinctive reactiveness, which is very fast reaction time, which is priceless if you're a military bomber or an athlete, you know. And so that being in the flow is well analyzed in the sports literature, as Patrick is saying. And the point is simple. If you're in the flow, your back brain is dominant and your front brain is relaxed. Your front brain is low amplitude, your back brain is high amplitude. That in the flow is very simple because the back brain mediated responses are fast, right at the base of the brain. If it has to go all the way to the front of the brain and be mediated and thought about, then it's stuck in your head and slower response time. So very simple, you measure whether you're in fact back brain dominant, and you can teach people to be in the flow. It's profound. And beautifully, the new Muse hardware and Patrick software, now we can do full 4-channel EKG, quick EEG rather, just as easy as sunglasses. Very cool. Sorry,
so you see the imagery of what's happening. It's not a DF, but normally this is the front part of the brain, and you see when you're in the flow, only the back part is highlighted.
It's well studied, but to be able to measure it's so inexpensive. It's a couple $100. These would be $5,000 for these kind of toys. You know, 300.
We had a beautiful example last evening in the dance.
Oh, yeah.
She was perfectly in the flow. Otherwise, she could not do what she did. She's good.
Yeah, that was perfect. I bet if we could measure her brainwaves.
You know, people climbing mountains. You see film on the net. They are climbing mountains, and when you make an interview of this person, they say they are somewhere else, but they are not thinking, "Have I lost my keys?" or no. They are just in the movement. They have to be concentrating what they are doing, and so the front brain disappears completely. So what we are measuring now, so we have added 2 more sensors for the front brain, and now
you can see them.
We get two signals.
This picks up the back brain here, and these
are the front brain.
Right here.
So we can get
4-channel EEG, easy as sunglasses.
So now we have the front and the back signal. The front signal, the back signal is in white, and the front signal is in black. And so we are making a few averages of the information of what's happening. So measuring alpha, measuring theta, measuring ratio, and also measuring the flow. So the flow is looking the percentage of the back regarding to the front. And so, well, we have made a small display with an eye. The more the eye is open, the more you're in the flow.
Just leave it for a second. This is a beautiful display. We may not be able to make brainwaves quite as pretty as this today, but we're going to give it a best shot. I just want to mention, this is Patrick, and this is me, actually. Behind the big the big theta and look at that cascade, that was a good moment, you see? So you're seeing, you see the alpha, 7 to 12 hertz in green, and the computer needs to calculate ratio to all other frequencies only after the alpha is stabilized. That's the reference point. And then you have ratio here. This is very close to the ratio. Beautiful theta. So you see how much power there is, and then in displaying this analysis all on one screen, you're actually learning when you have focus, when you put all these variables together. It's just incredibly powerful. And really, Patrick conceived how to put this display together. It's amazing.
Could you say again which column is, okay,
Yeah.
so theta is yellow?
Yeah, well, 4 to 7 hertz approximately.
Yeah, and then alpha is green.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know all these New Age woo-woos that say they're doing theta healing, don't believe any one of them until they've measured something. Tell them they're woo-woo
Exactly.
until that moment. Okay?
Yeah.
That's theta. And you're going to see it.
And you see in black is the front, and in white is the back. You see the ratio.
Oh, that's right.
The front is almost very small.
Yeah. That's a very important point. Just say it again, what Patrick just said. The white is front brain. You see how that's bigger than the amplitude of the I'm sorry, the white is back brain, which needs to be higher amplitude, and the black is the front brain. It's less powerful. So the front brain, black, is relaxed. The back brain is dominant. This is in flow.
Does this measure coherence?
Well, the amount of coherence in this case is here. The second order power spectra is optional. I don't know if you have that option displayed. But
Yeah, we will update it
yeah, yeah,
next time.
yeah. That's right. Yeah. You know, the TM people talk about brain coherence for years, but they never measure.
Well, I'll look at it later.
Okay.
There is a display of the second, yes, here.
Oh yes, in earlier versions.
Yeah.
So here,
This is something coming from the second FFT.
second order FFT
Yeah.
spectrum.
But
So the amount of coherence in each spectra here. You know.
it's crazy because the more you will be coherent, the more you will have big bullets here in this part of the screen. But we still have to work a little bit on it too.
So the display algorithm is being improved, but we have already started to display the spectrum, second order power spectrum. So you can see the coherence evolve here, and we might see that a bit today. We should then probably,
Yes, sure.
we should actually do it probably. Tell them you're going to tell them, and then you tell them, then you tell them you told them. Well, this is the part where you do it, I guess.
Yeah, you see that. So you have possibility to display the dashboard in different size with the eyes to take the part of the screen. Okay.
So the challenge is that so many people are not able to make much alpha. So it is true that probably only, I don't know, what do you think, about 10 to 20% of the population can actually make decent alpha. And if you can't make alpha in your brainwaves, you can't start. You can't start with Bliss, you can't do eliminate addiction. So alpha training is number one, and we can't really display very much today, but the binaural beat audio we have to teach alpha here is so powerful with this. So that's why we start with somebody after years is going to leave. Not always, but often I can make some pretty fun, pretty brainwaves. But the point is that yes, I know I do. Yeah, and so that the switches here, this tells me when the transmitter's on. Now, sorry, the transmitter's on.
So bright.
This is going to pick up a microvolt of my back brain with the rubber behind my ears. It's very comfortable. It's like I'm wearing sunglasses.
So you see,
You look like from Star Trek.
Thank you.
That's a large bonus.
Just call me Geordie.
Yeah.
so you must be first sure, as we have 4 channels, that the quality of the signal is okay, because if you don't place it correctly, you're measuring loss. So it seems quite correct.
So I got lucky. I have relatively clean data. I used enough. So a little bit of water is smart. The transmitter's on. You just
Too much noise.
connected to the
Okay.
No, it's okay. It should be okay.
Okay, I'm not closing my eyes yet. I'm waiting to close my eyes. When I close my eyes, you should see a burst of alpha. A little burst with normal most people. But then to sustain the alpha for any length of time in this electrically noisy environment. So then I'm going to just sit for a minute. I'm going to get as comfortable as I can. I just want to get really comfortable. I think I might take my shoes off too. Okay, just a second. Let's see if I have any luck.
In fact, when you close and open your eyes, it creates a big noise. And also when you remove your
jaw. Yeah. So I purposely
remove
have
your jaws.
So now I'm going to close. I'm going to start. Just only give me a max of about a minute and a half to 2 minutes. That's all I need.
Whoa, right there. He needs feedback.
Okay, I'm going to come back now.
Didn't work.
Wow.
Didn't show any alpha. And also theta. Big cascade,
The theta
big
should be bigger
ratio,
than the
yes.
others. Yeah. And that's more theta than you're probably ever going to see right there. And that's from years of Kundalini. So, but not to intimidate anyone, but to make coherent brainwaves is not. Usually, you find out who's done some meditating, etc., and not to make it a hard act to follow. But would anyone like to try it? We didn't record that, did we?
No.
Oh, this is very. Oh, we have video. The camera's running. It's okay. We can play it back to CNN later. So, anybody else? Seriously? Yes, okay. Annie would like to try it. Annie does musician and meditation all her life.
Oh, God, don't do that.
So we have a scene, Annie. Get comfortable. Okay. Yes, yeah, because of water in there. Okay. So that was deep theta. And you see that deep theta here, that what they say is alpha is the median brain. The beta activity there is the high brain, which is to say active thought. My theta was not very much. You didn't see a lot of theta. So I haven't really connected my deep, because when I closed my eyes I felt a rush, I felt a lot of energy, but I was not thinking actively. So I don't have the beta and the gamma going very much yet. But I have tremendous alpha and theta from the years of Kundalini. Yes.
Do you think the fact that we're all digesting right now has an effect on staying lower in energy and just feeling, more
Well,
quiet?
for me, for some reason, when I closed my eyes, I felt huge, wonderful bliss just now. But it's because I felt all of you, maybe. I don't know. I was good. I'm good. I'm happy. We're playing with our toys. I was blissful.
So you see, it's very, very important to have the less noise as possible. So have four green signals.
So actually,
Otherwise,
Patrick did great. He got low noise on Andy. That's very good. Andy, don't close your eyes yet. Don't start meditating yet. Just be very
So
still.
it's normal.
You're not meditating
When
yet.
your eyes movement and your jaws movement, it's normal to increase a little bit
That was
of
just
the
a little,
noise.
yeah.
But it's okay. It's a
So you're just very relaxed, but you're not meditating yet. Okay, just very relaxed and still. Very relaxed, very still. Okay. Okay. So now it's recording. And Patrick has many display options for you. Show alpha, show phi ratio, etc. Okay. So now we're ready. And just relax. And when you're ready, just close your eyes. Let it be quiet. Let's help Annie have a little meditation. Just 2 minutes. You're happy. Try to focus. Be still. Pretty good. Let me stabilize there for a second. So why don't you come back now? I think that's enough for just a minute. Notice the beautiful, you have complete tape recorder functions on the playback where you can play and pause and fast forward. It's really very cool.
close, you go back.
Yeah, it's very cool. So, but anyway, you get, so Annie, the short summary is you made a nice amount of alpha, and it was fairly right left hemisphere balance, It was modest, it wasn't well sustained, but it wasn't high amplitude. But you did hit theta a few times. But it was, you know, compared to, the amplitude was modest.
I didn't feel very relaxed.
Ah, yes,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I could feel my heart working.
That's right, yeah. So, and in front of this group, it's a bit much,
Yeah.
you know, so actually,
It's
yeah.
not easy.
It's not easy, is it?
You have to forget everything.
Yeah. But in the
But
more,
here you are trying to do something.
Right, right.
So you cannot get the choreography in this.
the more you go into Bliss, the more you get used to doing it anywhere. But
You have to-
I did notice with me, at releasing the jaw, did you notice how my jaw was hanging down? Yeah. Well, somebody else, shall we try somebody else? Sure.
I ask you, why did you mention try to focus? Because in my mind, that would like wake me up.
Well, it depends. Focus on the stillness, maybe. Yeah, a lot of ways to say it.
Yeah.
But, so who else would like to, any meditators in the room, or? Okay, please, sir, you're next, absolutely. This highly extinguished gentleman. Yeah, there we go, okay. And I like it that your hair is becoming the color of mine. Okay. So it used to be that brainwave work, really good brainwave meditation training was very expensive and inaccessible. Suddenly, you put on your sunglasses, 2 clicks on your computer screen, and hit record, and you're like recording your brainwaves in the most sophisticated way possible. And the Muse headset, typically around €200, and actually you can get them now for 170 to 200 to 220, so $200 roughly. And the software, the complete software high-level flame noise system is roughly also 200, I think roughly. So, 170?
Yes, 170.
170, yeah, so 170. So for $300 to $400,
It depends.
professional.
In the
Full
States,
brainwave.
it's less. It's 150.
Ah,
in the
150.
States.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
It's crazy. But
So he has very low noise. Patrick was successful with the input data. What's your name again, sir?
Victor.
I should remember. Sorry, Victor. Okay. So don't meditate yet, okay? And I think maybe Patrick will put on the recording. So he set the 4-channel.
Yes.
It shows that the battery content. Is it analyzing? Start. There we go. That's it. Okay, then they record Victor. Let's just record Victor. Let's see if we do better this time. Victor, okay. So good. Now, Victor, just relax a minute. Just don't close your eyes yet. Just get all relaxed and very still. Very happy, very relaxed. Okay. Good. And then, when you're ready, close your eyes. Yeah, close your eyes. Just like a 2-minute meditation. Go deep inside. Ooh. Ah. You just stop there. Well, he had a lovely burst there. Let's go back and play that back, shall we? Victor, you can come back to us now. So, Victor, well, that's noise from that. But we should notice that it actually takes a lot of people, most people, I'm exceptional, but most people it takes them a couple of minutes to even get down to the alpha letter. But it was interesting for you. Actually, you sat there still and you stayed with it. And then for about, I don't know, about 4 to 6 seconds, you had a gorgeous, really...
I found that moment when
Yeah?
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah? You felt it, yeah. It was, and I hope Pat can find that in the playback because it was very
Very
cool.
stable also for this.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
stable.
Yeah, so, but you can see how hard it is to make alpha. A lot of people can't do it. But it's a turning point in your life when you learn how. That's why the Zetas are teaching humans to make alpha, because they know that if humans don't get there. Is this the playback? Yeah. So just single step through that. Can you just?
Yeah, a few of them.
Yeah, just step. But if you even catch just one step here on point, if you click just no, just one frame. Yeah, that. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Sorry, I should. But you can actually do frame by frame. Yes. So that's when you focus. So that's very cool that you make that connection between the feeling and what the measurement. The measurement is real. And remember, alpha is Schumann. So at that moment, the earth harmonic was embedded in you, quite literally. So that's why it's so powerful. We've learned now that the right hemisphere and left hemisphere have approximately the same amplitude, so we don't have a lot of imbalance. Also, the frequency was the same right, left. So and also we learned that you did have back brain dominance, white, and not front brain, black. So we learned a lot of things. Now there's a lot more to do. Obviously, you need a cascade here to really get that bliss going. But actually, congratulations. Okay, well, any basic questions about flame in mind?
And it showed the gamma.
Yes. Do we have any Tibetans in the room? I mean, it's called Tibetan gamma because originally it was measured with the Tibetan.
Oh, yeah.
Now we can speak.
Whoa.
44 hertz.
All right.
Yeah, this thing is powerful, I tell you. This is very cool. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't done it.
Tempted it.
I haven't achieved it, no. I got great stuff going here, but up here, not there yet.
Okay.
Just,
Yeah, but the Tibetan monks, they have been measured.
yeah, the Tibetan monks, they call
Very deep.
yeah, very deep.
And
It is-
I'm very stable because I saw some data and I was like, really, because there is the pressure like here now.
Yeah.
When I tried in the past with you, I had the same like, okay, right now I have to prove it, you know?
Yeah.
So you're in your mind trying to force yourself
Yeah, to
into
get out of your head.
Exactly.
Tell my head to get out of my
So these people are
head.
sitting in a room with like 15 scientists around checking them, and they just go so deep and stable, gamma,
Yeah.
like really.
Yeah.
But and the other thing I'd like to say about the high frequency brainwave, that we believe many of our ET ancestors, like Alpha Draco, with more carbon bone and more silicon nerve, they had higher phase propagation velocities in the nervous system, meaning much higher frequency capability in their brainwaves, which gave them fabulous telepathy. But you know what? Very little low frequency, which means much less empathy.
Empathy. Yeah.
Essentially, it means the low frequencies means you can feel big things. You can't feel big things unless you got long ways in your body. You can't feel a tree, for example. We've measured a human heart phase locking a tree many times. It's in the spectrum of about 2 to 10 hertz, low frequency. And so the best people who do it are sacrocranial practitioners. They know how to feel that long wave. So these ancestors, the Draco, you know, if you believe Phil Schneider, highly telepathic, okay? They had high frequencies in their brainwaves. So the Tibetan gamma has its pluses and minuses. But the other thing we hypothesize but have not proven is that the most dominant frequency in the gamma, around 44, would then fit the cascade of golden ratio.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
you see here, just a beautiful example. We have 2 octave and 3 phi ratio at this point. See, 2 octave ratio and 3 phi ratio.
So these are the peaks.
In this spectrum, yes.
These are the peaks in the harmonic analysis. And this shows you which ones are octave and which ones are 5.
Yes.
Thank you. And also this,
Yes.
So that's one from the last measurement.
yes.
Yes.
So he had some phi ratio there.
Some- Some of the power was at 5 ratio.
At this point, that's what.
Just at the point in which he had the best
because I
output.
see the blue down there.
So he had a bit of cascade going at low power in the other frequency, but it was there. And notice, you want to explain about the accelerometer, or it just shows when you...
Yes.
Accelerometric.
Well, the accelerometer gives you the position of your head, so it can be interesting if you're making deep breathing. you
Fine,
will have a movement like this on your body. So while playing back, you will see some movement here, and so you can make a relationship with the different parts of the recording.
A real sacrocranial practitioner actually observes that kind of thing to confirm the spine liquid pump low frequencies. That actual, in fact, you know, if you understand what the function of the pelvic tilt was to create symmetry, classic Kundalini switch to here, so the top of the head does this and the pelvis does this, results in a different angle of curvature, specifically conductive to a longer phonon wave, one of the primal sacrocranial titles, actually. So that whole spine angle position, accelerometrics have tremendous potential here, gives more data.
And so you can, by touching the different part of the screen, you can increase them. You see, if I touch the...
So there's a gain control, isn't it cool? It should be working. Maybe only on playback.
Okay, you see, I touch this part is increased, I touch the top part, it will also increase.
Oh, well, the question was where would the children with the blindfolds be? And that was the Karatkov's conclusion, that the primary indicator of when the blind seeing without the eyes was successful was the alpha to beta frequency harmonics would be in golden ratio. Specifically.
That's what we showed,
Which is what?
With your example.
Yeah.
We have a beautiful
Yeah.
two symmetry in alpha
Yeah.
and much bigger in theta.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, that's right.
the slope was okay.
My alpha theta is pretty cool, and I was feeling beautiful, you know. I was seeing light. Remember, we said if you can make alpha, that means when you close your eyes, you see light. Literally. Yes.
How long can you record for? Like just a few minutes, hours? When you make a recording?
Depends to the memory of your
But I mean, certainly you could do 20 minutes easily.
Yes,
Okay.
half an hour if you want.
Good to know. Okay.
Yeah.
There is no limit, well,
It's powerful.
not today.
And then you can email the data to your friend.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about doing that on my live programs.
Oh yeah, and have them play it back on their screen and compare data. Yeah.
They must have both must have the app, so you can share the
Yeah, of
data.
course.
Because this was my meditation today when I was thinking of you.
And I'm working on a way to export data to Excel, and like that you can do
Oh,
what
yeah.
you want.
Is that part of the app or?
It will be soon. It will be soon.
Oh,
It's
nice.
almost there. But,
Can you play back one of your own recordings of a high achievement and play it back into your sensors?
No.
Need a different headset?
Well, you know, the audio cues are so powerful, but actually to play back, I don't know that.
Yes, it's only the frequency.
Well, you goes the other way.
Yeah, I don't know. Good question.
Is there also like an explanation when alpha comes up, what there happens in the brain or something, you know? Because there's a lot of signals, of course, in the brain, but what is, I'm interested in what is happening, you know,
But
here.
the literature is very in-depth about if you're making a dominant alpha, you have that resonant hypnagogic kind of quality, you see the light. If you've got theta, classically, the theta means literally access to the deep unconscious. And if you have delta, it means you went to sleep. But if you have beta, it means the high brain is active. So
If you have gamma,
if you have, I don't know.
you're out of this world.
You're out of this world or Tibet. But the point I'm making is that it's very easy to learn a lot about that in the literature because it's well described. That if you have dominant alpha. I mean, it really starts with people being able to get enough alpha to be able to measure the ratio. So until you can make serious alpha. But I did notice in my own life that the amount of theta I'm making now has increased dramatically in recent years. And I do find myself able to access, I don't know if I call it ancestral memory, but
And what would you owe that to if you have it?
kind of, you know.
I mean, you said the last few years, do you feel that environment or something else in your life has changed, added to that?
Well,
Or
I've
have you
been
made any
fortunate.
changes this year?
I've been fortunate to live in nature on the side of a mountain there. We have clean water, aeromagnetism, Kundalini available, you know. So in the years when we were going around the world every year, I don't think I would have had dominant theta. But now I do. I have, and what you saw me make there, I can do anytime pretty much. Most things.
You know what would be cool as a self-entrainment mechanism is that to be able to set a kind of an alarm in a specific range, and when you reach that peak, because you can't watch the screen while you're into your meditation, you have a little beep or a little sound, something. It just makes you know that there you reached the,
Regarding alpha, you can have audio feedback with, of course, it's, the sound is transposed because you cannot hear 8 Hz frequency. And so you will have the left and right response. So you will have, if you have a beautiful symmetry on the alpha peak, you will have the sound into 2 ears. If not, you will only have, well, the amplitude of the sound is related to the amplitude of the peak, okay? And you will have, so different sound in alpha when you increase the frequency because it's transposing a few octaves up. And so you can, while making alpha, the more you will go down in the frequency, the more you will relax. So you will have the feedback telling you, okay, now the sound is at lower frequency, so I'm going down, I'm going down, I'm going down. So, and it helps you to go to the Schumann frequency, which is the lower part of the alpha between alpha and beta.
You can't imagine how powerful the binaural beat audio is until you really try it. Because Patrick has programmed that the actual audio feedback cue you're getting is the harmonic of your real alpha, right? And also the relative right-left dominance.
Yes.
So
your next version. Yes.
So the brain is actually hearing the audio tone, teaching you when you're making alpha. It's hard to demonstrate here because play the speakers in the room and it'd be a bit tricky. But we have so much response that says that our binaural beats, binaural beats for inducing bliss audio differential headphones are famous. It's, from binaural beat therapy. And yet we get repeated response that our binaural beats are life-changing, and that's a quote, actually. Because now that they didn't know before that you needed golden ratio harmonics accurately to alpha, and you needed 180 degrees out of phase, and now we know to make binaural is very powerful, actually. And that's literally the driver file that drives the therapy, is those files, actually. So, yes?
Patrick, have you tested before and after, say, chanting or making music? Because we did some...
I'm testing while playing music to see why I'm not in the flow.
Yeah.
So while playing music, I get often access to this.
Right.
You do well.
And
Yeah.
that's been my experience with brain tests.
So you need some movement, some concentration. It should be a little bit hard, and be present and live in what you're doing. And that's it, the flow.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't. It's say 1 minute, sometimes 2 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, sometimes 10 seconds. It depends.
Yeah.
But
We tested the Soraya sound, and
I can achieve it while playing music, but this is the only way.
Right. And with those recordings that you have, the Soraya, we tested that with the brainwaves, and it went right into, at least mine went into alpha theta.
I should try.
With hearing.
I promise I will try.
Thank you. Thank you.
Too much Vanguard.